Hello everyone, Weather Jamaica here. Welcome to this updated video on the weather across Jamaica and the Caribbean. It is Saturday evening, December 24th, 2022. Merry Christmas Eve to all of you, and I hope that you all have a wonderful Christmas day when it comes. Now before we jump into it, please ensure that you guys like the video, share it, subscribe and tap notification bell so that you'll be notified every time I post a brand new video. Also feel free to leave a comment down in the comment section letting me know what the weather has been like in your area recently. Also feel free to ask any weather related question that you might have about the future of the weather in your area. I respond to all comments and I really live for this stuff. Alright, so let's take a look at the significant feature map across the Atlantic for this evening. We can see where we have the tail end of a cold front right there across portions of the northeastern portions of the North Atlantic. We have another cold front right there stretching all the way down into portions of Bahamas, Cuba and Central America. And if we actually take a look back at the satellite images, we can see the clouds associated with that first cold front as well as the clouds associated with that second cold front that's bringing overcast skies, showers and thunderstorms, not to mention cool temperatures to portions of the Bahamas, Florida, Cuba, maybe the Cayman Islands as well, Central America including Mexico, Belize as well as Guatemala and Honduras. We can also see some patches of clouds coming into portions of the eastern Caribbean, so maybe affecting portions of the Leeward Islands and Windward Islands. We'll be talking about that later on. Alright, so let us take a look at the images across Jamaica today. What happened across Jamaica today? We had a mainly partly cloudy day. In the afternoon we had a buildup of clouds across portions of southern Jamaica right there, which might have brought some overcast skies and isolated showers to portions of southern Jamaica. So portions of Clarendon, Manchester, St. Elizabeth and Westmoreland got in on some evening rainfall right there right before the sun went down. And if we actually take a look at the Caribbean Institute for Meteorology and Hydrology website, we can see where we actually had some amount of rainfall that fell. So portions of Clarendon, maybe portions of St. Catherine, as well as Manchester, St. Elizabeth and Westmoreland. Alright, so what are the temperatures like tonight? We can see where we have 25 degrees Celsius in Morant Bay. We can see where we have 24 degrees Celsius in Runaway Bay, 25 degrees Celsius in Sablamar, the usual 21 degrees Celsius in Mandeville, and 24 degrees Celsius in Kingston. That cold front won't be affecting us that much because it is right now stalled out across portions of the Bahamas, Cuba, and Mexico. So it won't be making its way eastward to bring all that cool air that we've been hearing that portion of the United States is getting at this time. Lots of cold air, lots of snow taking place across the US, but it won't be coming our way. This is the forecast for tomorrow according to the Euro. We can see where we still have those oranges or gold colors across portions of Jamaica and majority of the Caribbean. So we're going to be getting our average temperatures, what we are used to. So between 28 and 32 degrees Celsius at this time of year in December, definitely. If we're getting some blues, we'll get some below normal temperatures. So more than likely anywhere from, let's say, 25 to 28 degrees Celsius during the day, and then the 19 degrees Celsius to, let's say, 23 degrees Celsius during the nights and early morning hours, especially in the low temperature ranges in those areas that's used to getting those cool temperatures. So I'm looking at those areas in Mandeville, Manchester. Alright, so both months are showing average temperatures for the Caribbean for tomorrow. This is 1 p.m. That's 18th on Sunday. But let's take a look at the next 120 hours. Just like what the U.S. National Hurricane Center would do, they would look at the next 120 hours, and when we calculate that, that's the next 5 days. So for the most part, we're seeing for majority of the Caribbean from now up until the 29th of December, both models are showing average amount of temperatures to be received across the Caribbean. So all of that blues associated with that cold front will only be affecting those areas that are getting it right now. So portions of Cuba, the Bahamas, Florida, the central and eastern United States, as well as portions of Mexico and Central America. Alright, so let's just talk about the wind forecast for tomorrow. We can see we're going to be getting an easterly flow across the island tomorrow, so anywhere from 5 to 20 knot winds according to both the Euro and the GFS models. And if there's a chance of afternoon convection across portions of central and western Jamaica as usual, we can see where for the GFS model, we're gonna be receiving some westerly wind shear. So if anything should develop, but then like it's gonna be blown off to the east to bring more overcast skies to portions of inland areas of central and maybe even eastern Jamaica. What's the forecast? According to the Euro model, we can see where for the precipitation forecast, we're going to be getting some amount of blues across portions of northern and eastern Jamaica. What time is this? This is 7 a.m. on Sunday. Does the GFS agree? Yes, there is agreement. Northern and eastern Jamaica getting in on some rainfall. 7 a.m. tomorrow morning. Let's continue. 10 a.m. we still have some rainfall in the same spots on the Euro as well as on the GFS. GFS is a bit more robust with some darker blues right there. Then during the afternoon, 4 p.m. we see some blues across portions of central and western Jamaica. It's a bit more robust on the Euro than the GFS. GFS is showing some lighter blues. Either way, we're going to be having some buildup of clouds, which could bring some amount of rainfall across portions of inland areas of central and western Jamaica. And with that westerly wind shear, is going to be, keeping all of that cloud cover into sections of inland areas rather than southern Jamaica or northern Jamaica. So when we actually take a look at the accumulated precipitation forecast, we can see where the total amount of rainfall that's expected from now up until 10 p.m. on Sunday, not all of the rainfall at once, just the total amount that's expected. We can see lots of greens across. We can see lots of greens across portions of eastern Jamaica, just as predicted for the morning. Then portions of central and western Jamaica could be getting in on some of that rainfall during the afternoon. The GFS is a bit more robust, showing more in the way of rainfall across portions of northeastern Jamaica somewhere. Then likely Portland gonna be getting in on more rainfall than the rest of the island. You can also see some greens across portions of western Jamaica as well, and that's, as stated, gonna be affecting portions of the island during the afternoon. So it makes sense that our workers here at Weather Jamaica finally made a post because there weren't many posts being made recently because of the lack of weather going on. So it was stated that we're going to be getting some amount of rainfall across portions of northern and eastern Jamaica during the morning and portions of central and western Jamaica during the afternoon. Alright, so that's it for the forecast for the weather across Jamaica. Let's talk about the Caribbean, shall we? So as stated, we have that cold front. That's the main significant feature right now. We don't have any much in the way of troughs or tropical waves. Not the season for that. We're in our dry season now. We can see, however, some clouds right there associated with the intertropical convergent zone. That's where the winds from the northeastern, from the northern portion of North Atlantic come in from a northeasterly fashion, and they meet the wind from the southern Atlantic and formulate some amount of clouds. There's always convergence right here, and all of these clouds are bringing in some amount of rainfall into portions of South America. So portions of French Guiana, portions of Suriname, portions of Guyana and Venezuela getting in on some rainfall. We can also see some patches of clouds coming into portions of the Windward Islands of Barbados, St. Vincent, maybe even portions of Trinidad and Tobago. Gonna be getting in on some rainfall tonight with all of that cloud cover that's coming in from the east. You can also see some clouds across portions of the ABC Islands, so Aruba, Curacao, Bonaire. Lots and lots of clouds across portions of Florida, the Bahamas, Cuba, Central America, so portions of Belize, and Guatemala and Honduras getting in on some amount of rainfall. Even portions of the Cayman Islands getting in on some cloud cover and rainfall. And if we actually take a look at the Doppler radar images, as you know, Doppler radar images show the actual rainfall as opposed to satellite images that show the cloud cover. You know that we can have cloud cover over an area and not necessarily rainfall. But look at all this rainfall. We have some rainfall associated with that cold front affecting portions of Florida, the Bahamas, portions of the western tip of Cuba, portions of the same areas that were just mentioned across portions of Central America. So Honduras, Nicaragua, portions of Mexico, portions of the Windward Islands, so sections of Dominica, Saint Martinique, Saint Lucia, Barbados, portions of Grenada and Saint Vincent, even portions of Tobago getting in on some rainfall at this time. And as stated, portions of the ABC Islands, so Aruba, Bonaire, Curacao getting in on some rainfall as well. And as stated, that cloud cover associated with the intertropical convergent zone, bringing some amount of rainfall to portions of French Guiana at this time. And if we actually take a look at the wind forecast for tomorrow, that cold front will be bringing a northerly to northeasterly flow across portions of the Central America area, so portions of, let's say, Mexico, Belize. However, the Caribbean in general, not only the Eastern Caribbean, getting in on a lot of winds from the east, and we're getting in on some of the yellows. Yellows indicate up to 20 to 30 knot winds, so we're getting a lot of strong winds coming in from the east across portions of the Caribbean. So it's gonna be quite a windy day across portions of the Leeward and Windward Islands, the Eastern Caribbean in general. Jamaica, not so much, but as usual, south of Jamaica, so north of Colombia and Panama, getting in on a lot of wind right there. And what comes with all these winds? Rough seas. Alright, so let's take a look at the precipitation forecast from now up until 10 p.m. on Sunday, where we're gonna be getting the rainfall. As seen on the close-up of Jamaica, the Euro and the GFS are in agreement that yes, some amount of rainfall for Jamaica, but not too robust. Some rainfall for the Eastern Caribbean as well. Look at this for the Euro and the GFS. The GFS is a bit more robust for the Eastern Caribbean, but where's the main agreement? The main agreement is right there. Guadeloupe, Dominica, portions of what is this? This is St. Vincent right here to the west of Barbados. So that's where majority of the rainfall is being expected for the Euro. The GFS is showing something similar for St. Vincent and portions of Martinique and Dominica. We shall see exactly what unfolds with that. If we actually scroll down now to the bottom part, we can see where we're going to be having some amount of rainfall for portions of eastern Trinidad, and not so much in the way of rainfall for portions of Venezuela or Colombia. Finally, they're getting a break. We're going to be getting some rainfall across portions of Costa Rica, according to the Euro, and the GFS agrees. But look over this side, Nicaragua and Honduras getting in on some rainfall, and our viewers in Belize have been wondering why is that we're not seeing or air. Alright, here it comes right here. So we're gonna be seeing, look at all these reds and purples indicating up to 2 to 3 inches of rainfall for portions of Mexico, Belize, Guatemala. Lots of rainfall, and the GFS model agrees with that. So all of this cloud cover and rainfall associated with that cold front could bring in a lot of rainfall for the area, so it might trigger some flooding. So hope that you guys in those areas are taking the necessary precautions, that you're not that drastically affected. Alright, so that's it for today. Thanks for watching.